Listen, when you're arguing with somebody wearing a bonnet and they're in a full suit, you've already lost. You've already lost. It is a wrap for you. You might as well just listen. You did not come prepared. You did not come ready. It's over. It's over for you. Yo, it's your boy Zachary Carroll back at it again with a Pastor Reacts video. So I see this video circulating on the YouTube streams where the lead attorney, the 20-year family law attorney killing these YouTube streets, is having a conversation with a woman about whether high-value men cheat. I want to do a reaction video because this is sure to be good. I hear she brings some scriptures or some biblical principles in, and so I just want to see what she's got to say. And this should be good.
Miss Pat is about to let us know. Okay, Miss Pat. So what do you think about this? And let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it so we're all on the same page. Should a man be able to cheat if the man is married? If the husband, if he's paying the majority of the bills, if his wife is capable but unwilling to have sex with him, if he and the wife have at least one child, and if he's typically nice to her.
All right, so this is a scenario of whether a married man should be allowed to cheat. There is none. Number one, it's a wrap. When you're married, there's no good reason to commit adultery. There's no good reason to commit adultery. There is no good reason to cheat on your wife. Cheating is a lie. It's a betrayal. God sees it as incredibly sinful. Husband playing most, that doesn't matter. Must be capable. The wife is capable but unwilling to have sex with the husband. That's not good. That's really not good. But I did a video talking about should wives say no to sex. One of the main things I said there was that a man should figure out why his wife doesn't want to have sex with him. Now, sex is a marital duty from both the wife and the husband. It is. But if your wife doesn't want to have sex with you, there normally is a really good reason. There normally is a good reason. You're not prioritizing her. You're not treating her well. You're not being affectionate. You're not being affectionate and showing her love in the way that she views love. I mean, there could be a plethora of things why a woman would not want to have sex with her husband. Now, if there's no good reason, you've tried to talk with her, you've tried to reason it out, and nothing works, my advice would be to bring in family, bring in therapy, bring in people, spiritual mentors, people that love the both of you, want to keep you guys together, and like figure this out. Like, what is like, because that's just not a, that's the craziest thing I can think. That's the craziest thing in the world. Listen, you got to figure it out. We got to figure this out.
I'm gonna find out the truth. I guarantee you that.
You got to find out the truth. It just doesn't happen that way, that a woman for no reason, unless she's just like clinically, there's a clinical issue. And if there's a clinical issue, then we're in a different sphere. The Bible says that a husband should treat his wife as his own body. And so when your wife is going through something, you can't just say, fix it. You have to work with her. You have to live with her in an understanding way. 1 Peter 3:7 says, live with your wives in an understanding way, as with someone weaker, as with someone more fragile. So if there's something going on, something that you don't get, something that doesn't really affect you that much, it's still your wife.
And if he's typically nice to her, should he be allowed to cheat in this marriage? Why or why not?
Absolutely not. I can't even laugh. The morals are shot to hell with a lot of our people. And yes, I'm going to represent what thus saith the Lord. I'm going to represent what God say. If you feel like you want to rip and run, fine. Why would you bring a marriage? What is a marriage about? It's about two coming together and being one in a sanctified union. So if I know I want to rip and run and stay out on these streets, why would I get into a marriage? I can just stay single and rip and run, and I don't have that burden on me. But when you get married, you're getting married with the intent of saying, where you should be, saying, I am willing to commit to this person. So what's the point of a marriage if there's not a commitment there?
So she's already starting off from the perspective that it's the man not being committed to the woman that's causing him to cheat. From the fact pattern, it seems as if it's the woman not wanting to have sex with him. So he's not getting sex. He's not getting his marital due from his wife for no good reason. So she's approaching it from, I think, an incorrect perspective. She's not approaching it from the fact pattern. She's approaching it from basically the woman can do no wrong perspective, and the woman is already right. So she's already saying, like, you're wrong for getting married if that's all you wanted to do was cheat. But I wish she would have addressed the fact pattern more. I mean, cheating is never good, but the real issue is, like, why she doesn't want to have sex with her husband.
The commitment is the loyalty. The commitment is the unification. The commitment is the two becoming one flesh. The commitment is the two being of one accord, one heart, one spirit, one mind, one body, one prayer, one hope, one faith.
One body is sex. So if she's not having sex with him, they aren't one body. I mean, sex is so important in a marriage. I mean, I could replay the video with Reggie and Kim. You could look up every single marriage. Like, sex is important. Sex is very important. If you have sex with the same person for the rest of your life, the connection becomes deeper and deeper and deeper, and you become one. And that's how God designed it. So if there's no sex and one party is just breaking their marital vow by saying, you know what, I know I should be having sex with you, but I don't want to have sex with you. So yeah, go fix that.
One baptism. If you're not doing that, keep your butt single. This is why our young people have nothing to look up to. I'm looking at all these old gray-haired men, and I'm like, this is why our young men have nothing to look forward to. Because if this is how good our elder men is, I'm going to bring the word tonight. The Bible say, let the elder men teach the younger men. So if the elder men, honey, is teaching these young men, yeah, go ahead and cheat. That's why our boys don't know how to have.
She's going off. Like, she's going off, bro.
No foundation for a marriage. This is so sad to me. I really didn't know our old men is as messed up as they are. That's what I have to say.
All right. Now let me ask you.
So, see, the lead attorney's questions, like, he's a very good lawyer. So his questions are so, like, they're destructive. But they should be interesting.
Let me ask you, because you were talking about ripping and running the streets,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Miss Pat, that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about marriage. But I'm saying, if you know you're not going to be faithful in a marriage, why would you get married?
That's not what we're talking about, Miss Pat. Let me explain to you. Let me give you the scenario that we're talking about. I get married to you,
Mm-hmm.
and we're married. And it's a real marriage. We don't have any kids. We're 28 years old.
Okay.
And you've had the second baby, and now let's say you're like 50, 60 pounds overweight.
Okay.
And, I'm working and I'm paying the bills, and, we've been married for 7 years. So that's a real marriage. Like, now we see each other, it's not the honeymoon phase anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, you know what, in your head, you're just like, I don't, maybe I'm overweight. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to have sex with him anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's me, and we've got these 2 kids. Now, if we didn't have any kids and you stop having sex with me, so let's say I've gone 2 years without sex from you. I've waited. I've tried to been good, and I've been treating you right. I've gone 2 years. So we've been married 9 years. The last 2 years, you have not given me any sex.
Okay.
All right. and I'm still in the house and I'm still taking care of these 2 kids with you, and I'm trying. But honestly, it's stressing me out because I'm a man and I have needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk to you about it and you're just not with it. You're a mommy now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see yourself differently.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if we didn't have kids, then Miss Pat, I would just divorce you because I'm not going to live the next 30 years of my life without
Mm-hmm.
sex. Is that okay?
Okay.
Let's say.
Okay. Can I tackle your question? Go back a little bit on it. Here's what I want to first say is this. When a woman is not giving her husband sex, this is what men need to understand. I get it that you're the recipient of not getting that in return, and sex is very important in a marriage. However, what you as a man wouldn't see as a red flag, if my wife is not giving me intimacy and giving me sex, something is wrong. It could be biologically wrong with her. It could be something hormonally wrong with her, because I can tell you, being a woman, as we get older, our hormonal, sometimes we're not sexual. Well, unlike men, y'all ready to pop it off and bang, 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 skeets.
I've actually heard the opposite, that when like women get older, their libidos go crazy. And I know a lot of couples, I know a few married couples that are in their 50s, like mid to late 50s, and their sex life is crazy. So I don't know what she's talking about. Maybe, I don't know, but what do I know?
Skeet. Y'all just ready to do that. But with us, a lot of times our sexuality, our libido, it's seasonal. And this is where men need to understand the physiological side of your wife.
Miss Pat,
so,
in the example, I waited 2 years.
But now, in 2 years, but what I'm trying to say, it could be medical.
Seasonal. You said
no,
seasonal.
but listen what I'm saying. That's when she is functional. I'm saying if your wife is going 2 whole years without sex, it's not seasonal. You have to know there's something wrong with my wife. It could be something emotional. It could be something in her mental state. It could be something in her hormonal and physiological state. So instead of that husband saying, oh, it's about me, she ain't gonna give me no poo name, that husband shouldn't even let it get to 2 years without saying, baby, I'm going to suggest you go to meet with your gynecologist. I'm going to suggest that if you need to meet with a therapist, what is it? We need to communicate. Because I would agree, no husband should wait 2 years without having sexual relations. Sex is a major part of marriage. But
so far, I agree that you should not be waiting 2 years to be having sex with your wife. There should be something. There's definitely some, like, after maybe a week or two, there's a problem. Like 3 weeks, a month at most, like there's an issue. So in a Christian circumstance with a healthy community around a married couple, a month is way too long. I mean, ideally, we're talking hypotheticals here. So ideally, if a married couple is within a gospel community of other couples that have been through a lot of stuff, a community they feel comfortable in, they can speak openly and freely, they should be able to talk about these things and get help. Because if a woman doesn't want to have sex with her husband, like that's something that should be talked about, like, quickly. Like, you should not wait 2 years. Absolutely not. Should not wait 2 years.
That's my point. If a woman is going into 2 years, it's not seasonal. There's something a little bit more deeper wrong with the situation. So a husband needs to be aware of that instead of internalizing fear. Now I'm going to get some punane out on the street. Let me talk to my wife. Let me communicate. Let me try to work with her to get the help she needs.
Yeah, Ms. Pat, let me assure.
Okay, so I agree with her so far. I don't know. It says that he mollywops her. I don't know. Let's see what he says.
For you, that when a man goes without sex for 3 months, there's communication. And after 6 months, there's more communication.
But is it the communication to get her help?
Listen, Miss Pat, she is an adult as well.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you something about women. They are not children.
Oh, right? I get it.
You need to give children help. But she is a grown woman with her own mind and her own money, because she's working and I'm paying the bills.
So it's just about money.
No,
it's not about her mental state, her emotional state.
It's about her accountability as a woman. A man can
But your wife
communicate to
could be
her.
sick.
Listen,
She could
Miss
be
Pat.
sick.
So it's the battle of the hypotheticals. I mean, really, because so she's saying he needs to talk to her, and he's saying no, he's talked to her. And I think he's probably he's bending on, or he's relying on his history as a 20-year family law attorney. So seems like that's the reason that there's always communication, the right communication. And there's, like I said, there needs to be other people involved. Like if you've communicated with her after a month or within a month and it's not getting through, that's where you need to reach out to other people. Like people that love you, people that are engaged, because relationships are hard. I mean, communication is key.
Miss Pat.
She could be sick. Are you concerned that your wife could be sick?
Miss Pat, you're fighting the facts. Miss Pat, what did I just say?
So there's nothing wrong with her. She just completely just refuses. Maybe y'all got to let me know. How many times does that happen? Because I think maybe he's saying that there might be something wrong, but it's not the man's responsibility. As an adult woman, you got to figure it out. That's not a marriage principle. That's not a healthy marriage principle. You can't just say, hey, there's something wrong with you, figure it out. It's your burden. You're an adult, figure it out. I need you to do this for me. That's you're not being one. That's a separation. That is a us and me. That is there's something wrong with you. It has nothing to do with me. I'm doing my bargain. I'm holding up my end of the deal. You got to hold your end of the deal.
I said, when I read this to you, I said she's capable, but unwilling to have sex. You're saying that she's sick. That goes against her being capable. I read you these conditions, but you want to go outside the conditions to put your own negative or your.
See, the thing is, how would you even measure that? How would you even measure whether a woman is capable but unwilling? Capable as in she's not like injured. Like she's talking about a mental illness. You can't measure if someone does or does not have a mental illness. If you don't want to have sex with your husband and there's nothing physically wrong with you, you have a mental illness. That's a mental illness. I don't think there's some trauma, a mental illness, something is going on. There's no way that happens for no reason. Like, I mean, the answer is still no. Like, God wants you to work it out. Be reconciled to your husband. Be reconciled to your wife. Yeah. I mean, that's the answer from a Christian biblical perspective. That's the answer. But this super hypothetical that describes literally 1% of situations.
Narrative.
Well, let me ask you this from a woman's perspective, because here's what you don't understand.
Wait, Ms. Pat, I asked you a question and now you're asking me questions.
Okay.
Why does she have a bonnet on, bro? Like, you can't listen when you're arguing with somebody wearing a bonnet and they're in a full suit. You've already lost. You've already lost. It is a wrap for you. You might as well just listen. You did not come prepared. You did not come ready. It's over. It's over for you. It's really over for you.
Ask your question. I'll be fair to answer it. What's your question?
Here's my question. If under the scenario that I presented you with, married, 1 kid, still married, 2 kids. Now the wife is 60 pounds overweight. She doesn't want it. She's capable of having sex, but she doesn't want to. She just doesn't want to. She's a mother now, right? She goes 2 years without having sex, but there are no kids. Is the man justified in divorcing her?
Absolutely. Here's where I would say that he would be.
Not biblically.
Because even the Bible talks about that don't deny your spouse lest you allow the enemy to enter in. So the Bible is very pro-sex against what a lot of people think in the marital setting. But what I'm trying to get you to see, lead attorney, is this. Any woman knows this, and I get it. Why, as a man, it's not connecting with you. What I'm telling you this. No. Let me finish.
Women don't want to have sex all the time. I get it, Miss Pat.
Sir, lead attorney. Let me say this. Let me just finish my thought. When I say what's not connecting with you is this. Every woman who would call in on this panel would agree with me on one thing. They'll say to you, guess what? If a woman is capable of having sex but not doing that in a marriage, something is wrong. Something is wrong. It may not be physically with her body, but something is off in either that marriage and something is off. When
something
we are
in the
healthy,
universe, something in the universe is just wrong.
There's mental illness.
Something is wrong in her universe.
Okay.
Something is wrong in her universe.
Who has the responsibility to fix it? Is it the man or the woman?
Well, let me ask you this, lead attorney.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me a question with a question. Who has the responsibility?
Both. Both. In a marriage, both. They are one. The Bible says you must treat your wife as your own body. So when your wife is upset, you can't just tell her, fix it. It's for better or for worse. Like, see, this is the definition of commitment. Commitment is great when everything is hunky-dory and you're getting what you want to get. But then when you're not getting what you want to get, that's the test of commitment. And listen, every guy that watches this is going to agree with the lead attorney. Because if there's something wrong with her and there's nothing I'm doing, like I'm perfect, there's nothing I'm doing to upset her. It's her fault and it's her responsibility. It is a part of her responsibility, yes, but it's a part of yours as well, because you are one flesh, at least from a biblical perspective. Now, if you're doing this just your own way and you're not even trying to do it the biblical way, then, I guess figure it out. I mean, get divorced to every woman you get married to because she doesn't do what you want her to do. I mean, go ahead and see how that works out for you. That's why people get married 5-6 times.
Fix something wrong in her universe. Is it him or is it her?
If he's her husband, he does, because he's the lead. Wow. He's the head. He's the shepherd. That's according to the word. I'm going to give you the word tonight, baby. If he's the husband, if he's the lead, your name is lead attorney. If he's the lead, it's the husband who have to wash the woman with the water of the word. Just like Christ loved the church. Christ has to fix the church. The church don't have to fix itself because the church can't fix itself. So when men are telling me that they're the lead, they're the head, they're the this, then that's part of being.
All right, so I'm sure everybody's going crazy on this. Lead attorney is very calm, collected. This is a horrible representation of Christianity. You got the lead attorney, I don't know what his religious affiliation is, but he is not presenting a Christian worldview. He is dressed in an amazing suit, very calm, very collected. This woman, bonnet, about to go to sleep, glasses like your grandma, like your auntie won't let you go to sleep because she wants to talk to your head off until 3:00 in the morning. And it's like, everybody hates that. Like, this is not the best representation of the biblical principle. The idea is, sure, do it the non-biblical way, do it the secular way. Go ahead and divorce every woman you get married to once she doesn't do what you want her to do for a certain amount of time. Give it, why wait 2 years, 6 months? Whether it's sex, whether it's finances, whether it's children. If she doesn't treat the children in the way you want her to treat her, if she doesn't clean the house the way you want her to clean the house. So your boy, Austin Holman, was saying he's going to leave the whole country because he can't find a woman to date that will be willing to clean his home. Like, if she doesn't do all of these things, if she doesn't fit into your little box, you just divorce her. Go ahead. Let's see how many times you'll be married. Let's see how many times you'll be married. And just so you know, after the first divorce, the likelihood of a third divorce or a second divorce goes up like 67%. Like the likelihood, not 67. I think the statistics around divorce the first time is like 51%. It goes higher depending on like the age in which you were married. And then after the first divorce, the likelihood of a second divorce goes up to like 71%. And the likelihood of a third divorce goes up to like 90%. So you are going to set yourself on a path of easy divorces. All right, I'm not going to deal with this. All right. And then first time you're going to wait 2 years. And the second time you're going to wait a year. Third time you're going to wait 6 months. Every single time the woman doesn't do what you want her to do. And she gets into a position where she has to fix herself. And this is why marriage is a sanctification process. Every scripture I've read, every marital conference I've gone to, all of my marriage and family classes I took in seminary, all said the same thing. Marriage is a sanctification process. You don't need to be married yourself to understand that. And if you don't understand that, you shouldn't get married, because you don't know how much that will do for you when you get to sacrifice your own fleshly desires for this woman that you love, woman that you're committed to, for whatever reason that she is going through this mental illness where she doesn't want to have sex with you. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to do that. It is what it is. And so the alternative isn't better. And this is why sticking to one woman, one man, not getting divorced is the better path. But I don't know. This is crazy.
You have to be the caretaker. The word husband means caretaker, means fixer. So if something's off with your wife, sir, that's your responsibility. That's being the head, because you can't have it both ways.
Can't have it both ways. All right. Well, y'all heard the word tonight.
And I love you, lead attorney. And on that note, I'm going to bless you and give you some good night kisses. Mwah.
Shout out to Miss Pat. Shout out to Miss Pat.
All right. Well, I'm not going to put all his response on it, but I mean, there you have it. I mean, that's my response. We need to do better. I ain't even going to lie to you. We need to do better. But shout out to lead attorney. Hope he doesn't copyright this video. If he does, oh well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, there you have it. Pastor reacts to the lead attorney response about should high value men or should men in general cheat when their wives don't do what they want to do. Let me know what you think down below. I love the dialogue with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Zachary Carroll, aka Pastor Z. Y'all be cool.